$5 million in less than a month. That's what the solo dev of Animal Well is hacking in with a 2D Metroidvania release on May 9, 2024. Yep, another solo game dev has made an amazing game that's a huge hit. Let's break it down. Calculating gross revenue is easy. Go to Steam Calculator, plug in the price in dollars and the number of reviews, and it gives you a pretty reliable estimate for large numbers. It matched closely for my game, Shy Cat's Hidden Orchestra. It's easy to predict that Animal Well will hit close to 25 million in its first year because it's an awesome game. I know a lot of aspiring indie game devs who dream of making a Metroidvania. I'm one of them. Usually, the wise old game devs will tell you, slow down, start with something simple, and they are right. If your first project is a Metroidvania, chances are you won't even finish because game dev is a marathon and not a sprint. So it's smart to start small and fail fast to learn. But Billy Basso is the exception that proves the rule. Don't be fooled though, our hero isn't an experienced game dev. He was a senior engineer at Level X Game Dev and worked at NetherRealm. Not small potatoes, but he decided to spend 7 years making Animal Well, even creating his own engine for it. For me, the biggest insight he offers is something you and I can apply to our projects. Take a type of game you like and make a minimalist version of it, focusing on one mechanic and exploring it to the max. Animal Well did that. It captured one of my favorite parts of playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night and Super Metroid, which is the intense curiosity when you discover a secret passage or see a path that's only accessible with a double jump. And finally, getting that double jump to access the area you've been curious about the whole game. Yes, that's a feature. A very interesting game design strategy, and Animal Well is full of it. Who doesn't remember the awesome feeling of discovery when you decided to swing your sword as Alucard in a corner of the Castlevania scenery and a secret passage revealed itself? Man, that was like a shot of endorphins. Animal Well took that feeling and ran with it. You can beat the whole game in about 6 hours, so it's shorter than the dozens of hours you might spend in a Castlevania game. When you take a well-loved genre and make it more minimalist, it's important to do really well what you set out to explore. For example, the Brazilian game dev from Fractal Projects made Save Room, a game entirely based on the inventory system from Resident Evil PS1 and 2, where you have to organize your items. For $3 and the number of reviews, this simple game is estimated to have made almost $200,000. See, reviving the nostalgia of a moment when done right deeply resonates with players' emotions. And Animal Well nailed it. The 2D art, especially the blue color scheme, gives me a vibe very similar to Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo. The little map even gives me chills because it captures the best of what Metroidvanias have to offer. He didn't skimp on that and grabbed the players right by their nostalgia. Moreover, Animal Well stands out for getting straight to the point. No fluffy, no tons of dialogue, texts, or tutorials. I saw many games that use introductory tests to explain what the game was about, but it's much smarter to explain the game's mechanics during the game, while the player is playing. In my game, Shy Cats and Shy Dogs for example, on the start screen, you can find hidden cats to open the initial menu. This is an immediately playable tutorial, and I got some positive reviews for it. If you put a screen full of text, at any part of your game explain what the game is about, know that you've lost. The game dev gods frown upon it, and Animal Well has none of that. You enter, hit play, and start playing. You discover everything, the mechanics, while you play. Mario is a master at doing this, teaching while you play. That's how game design masters do it, and here, in Animal Well, we have a master's work. It's also impossible not to notice the game's graphic beauty. Everything is gorgeous and cohesive. The work on lighting and character animation is superb. Sometimes we think only 3D games can have beautiful graphics, but here we see an example of stunning 2D graphics. This visual style with TV tube lines also brings back that old school nostalgia. Everything here was very well thought out. So, here are the lessons for us indies. How about take a well-loved genre, choosing one of its best aspects, and make a minimalist pocket game focused on that aspect? Nail the juiciness to evoke nostalgia and see what happens. I think it's a good idea to revisit a beloved old game and see if this can be applied to it. What do you think? Comment on an old game you missed that could be renewed today.